And if we look back to humanity's history, it has been always a constant history of violence, of rivalry, of suspicion, of prejudice, of jealousy. And as humanity expanded into organized communities and in numbers, we began to fight over land, over hunting grounds. And these went on for thousands of years into today, where with the advance of science and technology, we did not succeed in the past 100 years or so in discovering vaccines, for instance, to effectively combat malaria that victimize millions around the world, particularly in the poorest regions of the world, Africa, Asia, parts of Latin America. And yet, our human mind has been able to develop additional killer of human beings, such as nuclear weapons, chemical and biological weapons, and all kinds of other weapons that increasingly and more effectively tend to could wipe out entire communities, if not the human race. With this, can we really honestly believe that with the tremendous effort, goodwill of individuals throughout the world, can we reverse this trend? Can we persuade the United States, China, Russia, UK, France, India, Pakistan, North Korea? I refer only to the declared nuclear states. There are others who might have a capability, and yet we don't know. We suspect they might have the ability to produce nuclear weapons in a short period of time. Can we persuade them to dismantle the nuclear arsenal that we know either it is deliberate use or accidental use can wipe out entire communities and make the land unusable for generations to come? When in 1986 the Chernobyl accident happened, I thought this could be a warning, a sample of what could happen if an accident happened in the armed nuclear installation somewhere. And what if one of the nuclear countries were to lose control over its nuclear arsenal, falling into the hands of elements that might want to use it to blackmail the rest of the world? And yet, in spite of all these dangers, the powers that be continue to refuse to disarm. If we cannot persuade the nuclear powers to disarm, can we convince the non-nuclear powers to disarm their conventional? My answer to you, maybe in 100 years, maybe in 1,000 years, but at least not in my short lifetime. However, what can we achieve in each country? What we can achieve in each country in building peace block by block is how we can contribute to wider peace in a given region and hopefully eventually in the world. So each of us, me, my compatriots in my country, we have the responsibility to build peace in building blocks, house to house, aldea, village to village, sub-district to sub-district, district to district, and then hopefully peace is an attainable dream in my country. That I believe. However, peace has to start with each of us in our own homes. And peace is not only absence of war between warring factions, warring armies. Peace has to start at home, where everyone at home, particularly the weaker, the children, the women, feel that they're in their home, in their sacred ground of their home, they are protected from violence. Meaning there is no domestic violence at home, no domestic violence against women and children or against elderly in our own homes. When children, upon leaving school, returning home, they fear returning home because there might be an abusive father or uncle or brother. Where else the child can go? Can we imagine the suffering, the loneliness of a child that is terrorized at home? Children must be able to walk from home to school in absolute freedom of fear. So the streets have to be free of violence. In schools, the schools have to be a safe haven. The schools cannot be ground for bullying by teachers or by colleagues, because they're in school. If they are subject to abuse, to discrimination, to prejudices, well, they will grow up bitter. In our villages, in our towns, in our cities, is it an attainable dream to build peace in our respective countries? I believe, yes, it is an attainable dream. Does not depend only on leaders, does not depend only on those who hold power, depends on each of us at home, in schools, in our small communities. However, when we look back at situations in many parts of the world, you tune in to the news last night, tonight, you see the violence in Gaza, in Afghanistan, ongoing violence in Iraq, in Sudan, in Congo, in Somalia, and many other less talk about situations of violence. We wonder whether the dream of lasting peace in these regions of the world is realizable. I believe so, that the international community, working under the leadership of the United Nations, Secretary General, and the powers that be, people of great inspiration, like President-elect Barack Obama and others in Europe, in Asia. If we cannot resolve all conflicts in the world, we can resolve some that are taking the lives of so many today in this 21st century. But to attain peace, it might be a bit incongruent, difficult today to talk about mobilizing billions of dollars to help the poor. I don't know whether if I were to go to Washington today, I would be very persuasive if I were to choose the topic, increase foreign aid to developing countries. Most of the rich countries in the world are suffering this economic and financial meltdown with repercussions all over the world. However, there is an undeniable truth. Poverty and violence go hand in hand. And if the international community does not redouble efforts to seriously address the root causes of poverty in many regions of Asia, Africa, and Latin America, every effort of those who are inspired by the notion of peace as an attainable dream will all be eluded. In this 21st century, we as human beings should ask ourselves whether it is moral that with so much knowledge, science and technology, and so much money available today, much more than 50 years ago, there are still hundreds of millions of people in the world who cannot even have access to clean water, who live on less than $1 a day, in most cases less than 50 cents a day. It is an indictment. Extreme poverty is an indictment of all of us, an indictment of leaders, an indictment of the wealthy, an indictment of the powerful countries, the powerful nations, powerful and rich. That in the last 60 years since the end of World War II, the international community has not been able, working with developing countries, to resolve issues of extreme poverty. Peace is not an abstract concept. Peace is real, is concrete, is palpable. Does not mean only, peace does not mean only a person living a life. Peace has to mean that he or she lives a life with dignity, with shelter, with food security. We cannot talk about peace while hundreds of millions of people in the 21st century remain in conditions of extreme, of abject poverty. In very recent years, last 5 years, under the leadership of the then Secretary General Kofi Annan, much more goodwill was mobilized to redouble foreign aid to developing countries, and much has been done. There has been significant increase in foreign assistance. The goal established by the UN more than 20 years ago of persuading every rich country to contribute with 0.7% of their national wealth, GDP, for developing assistance has not been met. Only countries like Sweden, Norway, Denmark, the Netherlands, Finland have reached and gone beyond the 0.7% of their GDP in assisting poor countries. Others, United States, fall very, very much behind. The rest of Europe, about the same, Japan included. 0.7 or 1% is a minute sum, but would mean extraordinary difference, make extraordinary difference to the rest of the world. But that is not enough either.